5 years ago, former Flame star Theo Fleury wrote a tell-all book about his life, exposing the abuse he sustained at the hands of his junior hockey coach. And recently, you focused on healing yourself, and with the help of therapist Kim Barthel, in a much better place. So you wrote a follow-up book, Theo. It's a collaboration with Kim called Conversations with a Rattlesnake. There it is right there. Welcome to the show. Always great to see you.
You too.
So let's talk about this follow-up book. You wrote this over 72 hours in a weekend, a conversation with your therapist, although you'd already written about your experience. So why did you feel it was important to do it in this form?
Well, I think that, all of us who have had traumatic childhoods, this is a lifelong journey, and it really came, the inspiration came from, all of the people after Playing with Fire who, felt safe enough and had courage to come up and tell me their own stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the next question they would ask would, where do I go from here?
Right.
And so, I met Kim, who is, I wish she was here today because she's so fantastic and just the smartest, most kindest, beautiful human being I've ever met in my life. And, we sat around my kitchen table for 72 hours, and at the end of 72 hours, I realized that there wasn't one thing I could have changed about my life to make it any different, which then took away all the shame and, all those things I'd been carrying around. And, we really got to the bottom layer, right? Where I felt abandoned all the time. I didn't feel lovable and I didn't feel good enough, right? And now I had somewhere to start from, right? And rebuild. And it's 2.5 years of conversations in the book, and the book's for everybody, whether you're supporting somebody who's had trauma, or whether you've gone through it yourself. And you know what, I had focused so much of my attention on the sexual abuse, I forgot about my family of origin stuff. So my parents both struggled through their own process and through their own addictions, and so I had a very chaotic childhood, and really struggled with relationships my whole entire life. Who to trust, what kind of boundaries do I have, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been an interesting process, that's for sure. But I've become more mindful, I've become more present, and I sleep better. Just overall, it's been a really cool process.
Yeah, and not only for your own healing, but you mentioned the people that had come forward after your first book and all those conversations that had happened. So what kind of value do you get out of being able to carry on the conversation and help other people along the way?
Well, the whole idea is that, a lot of times people think that they need to give people advice, but really it's just about holding the space and making it safe and letting them just unload this stuff. And then, from there, you can build from there, because so many people think that they're alone in this process, or I can't tell anybody because, they might use it against me, et cetera, right? So, we are really promoting, talking about this stuff. And obviously I'm wearing this mustache, and it's about men's mental health. We need to have more conversations, because especially for us, if we stuff our feelings, man, it manifests itself in so many things. But I think more importantly is, when you stuff, that anger comes up to the surface when you stuff your feelings. And so, I've been able to have a couple of really great guy friends who, we sit around my kitchen table and we talk about our feelings and we cry and we laugh, and it's so healthy. It is so healthy. Women are a little more...
We're good at it.
And we could take a lot of advice and teachings from how you guys communicate with one another, But I've often said, imagine if I was playing for Brian Sutter, and 45 minutes before the game he comes up and drills me in the arm like he used to and say, "Are you ready to play?" And you look at him and go, "No, coach, I'm really sad tonight."
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen.
No.
But there was a lot of nights where I did feel that way, and so it's been an incredible process. we've been out there for a couple weeks already, and the most amazing thing is I'm seeing a lot of people that I saw when Playing with Fire came out.
Yeah.
And they're coming up to the tables, and their eyes are bright, and you know, they're excited about their life. And one of the most incredible things happened was we're in Langley, BC, and this lady had a picture of herself.
Okay.
And she sat it on the table beside me, and I'm looking at the picture, and I'm looking at her, and like,
Not the same person?
Not the same person. And so she said, you know, however long, 5 years ago Playing with Fire came out, she said, you know, I was suicidal. I was ready to give up, you know, a lot of trauma, abuse in her background. And she said, I read Playing with Fire, and I lost 160 pounds
Wow.
and changed my life. And I'm going, you know, wow, like
What a gift.
Yeah, you know,
Incredible.
and-
Well, I commend you. I commend
you.
you. And those stories do continue. And of course, the conversation is as brave as it is necessary. And you are on tour across the country, essentially, but lots of locations here that you can check it out and meet Theo Fleury. More information on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. The book is called Conversations with a Rattlesnake, and there it is right there. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for taking the time with us this morning. Chris